morning. I'm Carlton Sharp, pastor of Faith Christian Center Church, right here in Beaumont, Texas. And we're here on what's happening in our neighborhood. And today my special guests are Miss Sharleen JeanBaptiste and Mr. James McRae. Welcome to what's happening in our neighborhood.
Thank you for inviting us.
First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. Okay. I'll start with you, Sharleen.
Okay, great. Again, my name is Sharleen JeanBaptiste. I am the president and CEO of Liberty Heights Community Center. Liberty Heights started in South Dallas County.
Wow.
Okay, as a safe house, get children off the street, and that was back in 1996. It became a nonprofit in 1997. Been doing this kind of work, working with people in low-income and underserved areas, and historically underserved areas, and rural communities, disaster assistance since 1996, actually.
Okay.
And so we're here in Southeast Texas, working with the disaster assistance and FEMA for Jefferson County, Orange County, and also Hardin County.
Okay, well, let me get Mr. McRae in. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. Again, I am James McRae. I have been working with Liberty Heights for the last 16 years. Started out creating a charter school in South Dallas for the underserved. And so now we're here in this area, been here for the last year, helping to bring services and support needs and to help fill the unmet needs.
Now you guys are bringing a program called the 2017 Hazard Mitigation Grant Program to Southeast Texas. Right. So why? And then we'll talk about what it is.
Okay. Well, one of the reasons why is because of the Hurricane Harvey that happened just
last year.
Last year, you're right. Okay, and since a lot has not been done, and especially as it relates to unmet needs. A lot of housing have not been addressed, and so we were called by FEMA, Homeland Security, to come in and help out with this situation, which is fine. And we worked with some of the, especially with can't remember his name, County Commissioner Brannick.
Yeah.
Brannick, okay. And so he's helped us a lot, and also Pastor Reynolds and Aaron Reynolds, okay, and just working and trying to get people back into their homes safely, securely, and functionally.
Now, James, since you guys have been working with FEMA, that's how the connection came, because you've been doing programs with FEMA for a long time.
We've been, yes, different programs with FEMA, Department of Homeland Security, for quite some time, yes.
Now, did you guys start with that in Dallas? You said earlier?
Well, we started with USDA, which was kind of working with emergency food and supplies and disaster assistance, and then we Department of Labor, Department of Education, and just working with all those programs. Okay,
so let's talk about the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. So tell us a little bit about that, and how does that impact those of us who are in Southeast Texas?
Okay, and that question I am going to relate to our Chief of Operations, James.
Chief Operation Officer, Mr. James McRae. Go ahead, James. Talk to us about that.
The Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, it simply means we're here to help clean up what's been messed up. Mitigation is to ensure that what was destroyed, the next time this type of disaster strikes, it does not get destroyed the next time. So you are better prepared to deal with the situation when it strikes again.
Now, part of the program is for elevating homes and reconstruction in flood areas, prone homes, and if your home has been damaged, correct?
That is correct. I'll expound upon the services that we offer, the multiple programs, a synopsis. It is elevation, rehabilitation, reconstruction, and in certain situations, new construction. Also relocation services, and we can help prevent homelessness.
Okay. So when you talk about elevation, so if they're living in a flood, well, nobody ever thought that this was going to be the 1,000-year flood, to be honest with you, when it happened last year. Right, so there are some homes who are below grade, so you're talking about lifting those homes up.
That is correct. There is a 100-year flood line that is put out by the National Flood Insurance Program.
We had the 1,000-year though.
Yeah, so yes, there's a 100-year and a 500-year, but you guys definitely succeeded the 1,000-year line. And so what we're doing is we're looking at what the parameters are, seeing as how this did occur, and you did blow right past those numbers. They're putting out new numbers, but as soon as we know that numbers, we will draw the line, and you will be elevated 2 feet above that new line.
Okay. Now, even though this happened a year ago, it seems like the help. I mean, why now? I mean, it's been a whole year that people were needing help.
Right. And Judge Jeff Brannick explained it a couple of weeks ago, and I'll expound upon that. And it was initially when the flood struck and the area was devastated. The program that kicked in at that time was a short-term recovery program. Simply means let's band-aid what we can band-aid. Let's get them back to livable conditions. And what they call livable is we want to make homes and businesses safe, secure, and functional.
Okay.
Which means you can live in there and not have health hazards, not worry about the walls falling in on you. That was the short-term efforts.
Yeah.
It has taken 12 months to develop a plan for attacking the actual issues and addressing them and funding them. So it's taken them 12 months. So now the state has put out a state action plan to help with the long-term recovery efforts. And so Liberty Heights, under the guise of Sharleen, old faith JeanBaptiste.
Bon, JeanBaptiste.
we have adopted that plan and enhanced it and enriched it. And in working with the county commissioner's office at Jefferson, but we've also been speaking to Hardin and Orange County at capacities. But in working with Jefferson County and the commissioner's court, as well as reaching out in the community with different agencies, but and really focused on with Pastor Aaron Reynolds, we have identified the needs, not all, but the needs in the community. And so we want to make sure we customize it to a point where it will definitely address the long-term needs. And I'll say this, and that is, see, a lot of short-term needs were met.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, I got sheetrock hung, and all I got to do is float in bed. I think they call it's tape it. But anyway.
Yeah.
We got that hung. Just paint that wall for me, and I'm golden. In actuality, your house has not been checked for what needs to be checked. And so there's a lot of things that go into that for the long-term needs of your home to make sure it is, as Sharleen pointed out, safe, secure, and habitable, but for the next 1,000 years.
Yeah. Well, now, Sharleen, there might be some people watching today, and they're like, well, okay, my house was damaged, my house was destroyed, my house got flooded out. Who is eligible to be a part of this program?
Okay. As long as you are a homeowner in Jefferson County, again, we are working with Hardin and then also
Orange County. Yeah.
Orange County. As long as you are a homeowner, your name is on the deed, we can work with you. Okay, and your home has been damaged by Hurricane Harvey.
Hey, look. So listen, those of you who are watching, you can't say, well, this happened 10 years ago and I want it fixed. No, that's not how the program works. The program works if it was damaged during this past hurricane with Hurricane Harvey.
Exactly. We're also working with those individuals or those families that are listed as what we call LMI or low to moderate income families. Okay, so the very, 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 very rich. Okay.
Hey, so okay, all right. Okay, so my house was damaged. Mm-hmm. I had a little bit of assistance a year ago, but it didn't complete all of the projects. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, I even had insurance. So do I qualify having all of those things done already?
Yes. So the parameters around the damages that you sustained and the guys you laid out. We can look at, as long as you are LMI, low, moderate income individual or family, or household, we can come out, assess your property. Based on that assessment, we come up with a cost. That cost we then weigh against all of the monies you received to repair your home and what that money was allocated towards. Then we weigh that against what the cost is. And the cost differential lets us know what we are able to qualify you for in assistance.
Okay, so if I had a little damage, but I'm in that flood zone and I need elevation, so you're going to take that in consideration. Now, the great thing about this is you're going to come out and inspect the home. We're not just going to take people's word at it on it. You're going to come out and inspect it, right?
Exactly.
Correct. We have our damage assessment team, and our damage assessment team is comprised of engineers, appraisers, and inspectors, and they are certified, state certified, multi-years experienced. So their credentials are beyond reproach, and they are in great standings with the state, not just good standings, but great standings with the state. So what their recommendations are is from their years of experience. So when we write our reports, they will be respected and honored. So your home is below the flood line, the new flood line. We're going to let you know what that is, and we'll tell you what it's going to take to elevate your home. Okay,
so now the question is, okay, well, how can I be a part of the process? Now, you have an application that they have to fill out, correct?
That is correct. It is a voluntary participation authorization form. We are required by the federal government to have everyone complete this form. It is a voluntary program, which means you can opt in and opt out whenever you feel like it. And an example of that would be the engineers come out and they start doing the assessment and they step on your grass. I didn't like he stepped on my grass. I don't want to be a part of the program. You can opt out.
Yeah.
We come back and we say, hey, here's what it's going to cost. Here is what they gave you. It's, there's a difference in here, and we're going to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. And you say, well, I don't like that price you gave me. Even though it's not costing them anything, you can opt out. You didn't like it. You can opt out at any time.
Now, again, they must be the homeowner.
Yes.
Or have the deed in hand, or purchasing the home and they have their name on that agreement.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you just can't be a renter and be a part of this program. Is that correct? For the people that's living there. We'll get to the other part later.
Correct. They cannot. They have to be on the deed, or they have to be have a signed authorization form to make decisions on that home.
Okay, now, but they definitely need to have one of these applications.
Correct. The process is they fill out the VPA, Voluntary Participation Authorization Form. Then that will be submitted into our system. We will build a case file, determine qualifications and eligibility, and then we will then begin working them through the process.
Now, there are different area churches that all have the applications. Borden Chapel has the application. New Day Deliverance Church has the applications. Cathedral of Praise have the applications. We here at Faith Christian Center Church have the applications. And then a couple of churches in Port Arthur area have the applications. And I'll get those names for the other churches in just a few moments. But you could go to one of those churches, or even go to the website. It's listed right there on your screen, and pick up an application online. So, I mean, they got it covered everywhere.
That is correct.
Or
go ahead.
Or also at our location.
Or your location. Go ahead.
At the 2349 Memorial Boulevard, Suite B, and that is in Port Arthur.
Okay. So there are a variety of places where you can pick up the application and be a part of the program. Now, let me ask you this. So once the person fills out the application, let's say they go to New Day Deliverance Church and drop off the application at New Day Deliverance Church, and then you guys get the information from New Day, Pastor Shallow, Bishop Shallow, and how long then is it going to take before I see the process begins, as far as the inspectors coming out, as far as the mitigation starting? How long is it going to take?
And so the application process takes, our cutoff time for that is end of September right now. Once we get all of those forms put in, our deadline has been set. We didn't set it, it was set for us. At that point in time, we can begin building cases. And then there's a cutoff time of 45 days beyond that.
Gotcha.
Then this is before they will start taking it from us or any organization that are submitting these cases to the state.
Okay.
And so after that, we have to wait for them to come back to us with their FAQs or RIFs, which is simply them asking us a bunch of questions about what we get to.
Hey, you giving an A, B, C, D, F, G, So, but basically, it's them questioning you about the application.
Exactly. Yeah. And they're going to verify and validate that, because we could turn in saying, oh, we got this house over on 723 19,000 Street, and it's totally gutted, damaged, and we're going to fix it, and we need $90,000. They're going to say, oh, that house don't exist. Things like that. They're going to verify everything that we say is true and accurate, and that everything is on the up and up. Okay,
so that means, the application process is going to end the end of September. Then 45 days, so that's October, mid-November. Then we'll start. You will start hearing some feedback from FEMA and other agencies that that you're dealing with.
Correct. And then once everything is checked off on, we're saying we can realistically say hammers swinging, shovels going, lifters lifting, turn of the year.
Okay, so the first of the year.
Correct.
So and that's good for people to understand, because they would think that, hey, listen, I've submitted my application, I've done everything that they asked me to do, and I still haven't heard anything from them. But they need to understand that it's a time process that it takes some time in order to complete the process. And so first quarter of next year, we should hear an answer if you're a homeowner who applied for this grant.
That is correct. And now all throughout the initial application building, the case building, there will be communications from us to the homeowner as to what's going on, what we're looking at. And once we submit them, then it's pretty much, hey, listen, we're still waiting, but we need you to understand that we can't do anything until they release it, because it's now in their hands, and they're being picking the alphabet organization that we're dealing with, the state or the federal government.
A governmental agency. Yeah. It's going to take some time. Okay, so my next question then, because I hear the people asking the question, well, pass that sharp, ask them this question. How much money are they going to get?
At the long-term recovery process, the homeowner does not receive any funds. There's no money deposited in their bank account. There's no check to come pick up. There's no any funds coming to them. The funds are going through Liberty Heights, and Liberty Heights will be responsible for managing those funds and reporting on those funds. So we will be making sure on our end our due diligence is done. We are dotting I's, crossing T's, and closing off all O's.
Hey, James, James, we ain't gonna just have a little bitty O. We're gonna cover that thing all the way up.
All the way up.
Now, and that's important for people to understand. So you're actually gonna have contract builders that's gonna be responsible to you to go and do the work at a person's home.
That is exactly right. Our damage assessment team will, the head of our damage assessment team is also over our contracting, and that is the plumbers, the electricians, the builders, the entire gambit, the excavators, all of them, and we hold them to the highest regards, because we want to make sure that they deliver the best of the best to our constituents.
Now, and that's important, because the federal government or the governmental agents that you're going to be getting money from trust you to handle this money because you've done work with them in the past.
Yes.
That is correct. And Ms. JeanBaptiste have been doing this. She said since 1996. Notice I said 16 years. That doesn't date back to 1996.
It doesn't.
She's been dealing with this far longer than I have. And so now I've been working in the private sector for some government agencies as well. I was in the military, which doesn't mean anything except that I was in the military.
We salute you.
Thank you. So I've been on the inside of how things work and the hurry up and wait process, but also toe that line.
Gotcha.
Dress it down, cover left. And so make sure cover right. So I make sure we are where we are supposed to be, and so that everyone are where they're supposed to be, and things happen. Everything has a place.
Exactly. Well, my wife wasn't in the military, but she'd say that all the time. Everything has a place. hey, everything has a place. I'm like, okay, all right. Okay, so now let me ask this question. So you will contract with the builders, all right?
Yes.
And you will pay the builders and the subcontractors and everybody that's involved in that process. So will a lien be put against the person's house with the subcontractors?
No subcontractor
Okay.
that we deal with will put a lien or request you to put a lien on your property. You will not be asked to pay anyone that we deal with directly. We're not going to ask you to pay us anything. You, as the homeowner, do not come out of pocket. Do not sign anything as it relates to the contractors unless Liberty Heights specifically states that this is what you do. And from that perspective, if Sharleen or Faye JeanBaptiste does not say it, it does not happen.
Oh, so okay, so I'm sitting next to the lady that's gonna make the decision. She gonna pull the trigger then.
Okay, but
Miss Sharleen
Yes.
JeanBaptiste.
Okay, and I am going to give one footnote to what James just said. Actually, 75% of the funding is due from the federal government.
Okay.
25% of that same funding is due by Liberty Heights. We are the subrecipient. Liberty Heights will cover that 25%.
Gotcha.
Okay, we're not asking the homeowners for anything. We will cover that 25% on your behalf.
So again, if they qualify, okay, let me start the process again. So if you have a home that's been damaged due to Hurricane Harvey last year, and it's for elevation, mitigation, and what's the you got because you had four words. I mean, you just spit them off. So you tell us the 4 words.
Elevation, rehabilitation, reconstruction, and in some instances, new construction.
Okay. So before I get to my process, I got to ask you about this. So you say in some cases, new construction. So how does that happen?
New construction is your home. You living in your home. You have 4 people living in your home. You have a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. Your home is devastated, uninhabitable, and you need to get back in that home. But there's nothing to be done with that. We don't have a plan for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom home.
Ah, gotcha.
But because you are the primary breadwinner for the home, and your income falls within these parameters, you qualify, then the footprint that goes back in that place will not be the same as what was there.
Gotcha.
Therefore, that requires new construction of a different home going on that land.
On that same property.
That is correct.
You can't say, well, I got a lot over there.
Correct. You can't say that. Now, but there's another program that we could discuss as to how, if you want to relocate
Okay.
into a different area that falls within certain qualifications, then that falls under the relocation services, and we can provide you with the ability to relocate to a new place and actually build on that land. So, but if you have a lot, oh, I got some land, I got land over in Belton. I want to move to Belton, build my house there. Sorry,
do it.
Can't do that.
So the property has to be, the location of the property has to be in the flood zone, in the Hurricane Harvey area, which is the Tri-County area. When we're dealing with the Tri-County, Jefferson County, Hardin County, Orange County, okay?
Correct.
And then the person has to fill out an application,
Correct.
okay? And let me,
No, let me
Go ahead.
give you
Go
a
ahead.
footnote on this one. This is not the full application.
This is just a partial.
That's just partial.
Yeah.
The full application is actually,
you got 5,000 pages to fill out. No, just messing with you, just messing with you. No, I'm just messing with you. No, but this is only 3 pages.
right, it's not that much, it's really 21 pages.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so,
Just wanted
but you can pick up these 3 pages, and let me give you the church's names. In Port Arthur, you can go to Rock Island Baptist Church at 548 West 11th Street in Port Arthur. You can go to Christian Faith Baptist Church, 1919 Jefferson Drive in Port Arthur. You can go to New Day Deliverance Holiness Church, 1310 Van Buren here in Beaumont. You go to Borden Chapel Baptist Church, 3495 Roland Road here in Beaumont. You go to Cathedral of Praise right here in Beaumont, 595 Magazine Street. And then you come to Faith Christian Center Church, 6490 Phelan Boulevard. We will help you out.
Awesome.
So you fill out the application. You submit it to one of the churches or online. Give me the online. Give me the online real quick. Give me the online just popped up on the screen. They go online, fill out the application online.
exactly.
That is correct.
Okay, so once they fill out the application, turn it into any of those locations, then it starts the process.
That is correct.
All right. Then after that, it's going to take 45 days for the slow government to get to working.
Yes.
Okay. Then after that 45 days, they're going to contact Liberty Heights Community Center to ask them questions about your application.
That is correct.
And then after that, they're going to come back probably the first quarter of next year. In the process, they're going to be calling you, asking you questions because they just got the questions from the government. So now they got to answer the question.
That is correct.
Then after that, first quarter of next year, then all of the hammers and nails and saws and all that stuff start happening.
That is it.
Wow. In a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
Hey, listen, let me give you the number of how you can contact them. Hey, listen, their office number is 409-217-5004. Yeah, again, that's 409-217-5004. And they're located at 2349 Memorial Boulevard, Suite B in Port Arthur, Texas. So listen, if you need more information, there's the information right there on the bottom of the screen to get in contact with them. Miss Sharleen JeanBaptiste, the president and CEO of Liberty Heights Community Center, and Mr. James McRae. He is the vice president and chief operation officer of Liberty Heights Community Center. Yes, sir.
I wanted to add something in there as well. We are preparing for those whose homes will need to be serviced. Temporary shelter, temporary housing. So when your house is scheduled to be repaired,
That's good.
we will have a place for you to go. You will not have to pay for that temporary shelter. Liberty Heights is assuming those costs for you.
Wow.
So you will be housed while you are being served.
Okay, James, so I want the 5-star hotel. Where we going to stay at?
While it won't be a 5-star hotel, I assure you.
Well, we don't have it in this area anyway. But anyway, yeah.
It would be one of the places that we secure for you. It would be a house. We also are looking at some apartments, but also what we call model homes.
Okay. Before we end, let me ask this question. What if I'm a business owner and my business was damaged? I know you were talking about homes, people who own their own homes, but does this program service those who might have businesses?
This program does not service the business owner, not this program. However, because of the hard work and efforts and the sweat equity put in by Sharleen
JeanBaptiste.
We are partnered with, we are sub-recipients with, the state and the General Land Office and all the alphabet people.
I like that.
So-
all alphabet people.
Yes. there's a program that we can help the business owners through.
Okay.
Yes.
But they do not have to fill out this application that I talked about earlier.
That is correct. The business owner does not fill out this application.
Right. So I don't want people to get confused and say, well, I'm filling out that application and no matter what. Okay?
Correct.
Okay. Now earlier, Sharleen, you had mentioned the program about about the rich
Oh, okay.
cannot apply, need not apply.
Okay.
So what do you mean by that? So
Okay.
just I want because I want to cover all the details so people will know, what economic income they must have in order to participate in this program.
Okay, well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to put rich in quotes. And the reason I say that is because we're under an income guideline. We normally use the Health and Human Services guideline for the United States. We're working with two guidelines because there are those homeowners who fall just above what's considered low moderate income. So we're going to work with those homeowners on a different grant program, but they'll still qualify. We're working with the homeowner on an individual case-by-case basis, but we are using Health and Human Services income guidelines on poverty scale.
Okay, so is that part, because I want to make sure that people have all the information. So where can I find the guidelines for my income?
Exactly. If you Google Health and Human Services income guideline, just Google that. It'll pull it right up for 2018.
So Health and Human Resource.
Health and Human Services, or
okay.
HHS.
HHS.
Poverty guideline.
So hhs.gov, and I'm sure you'll find it on their website.
Yes.
But yeah, so people see. I just want to make sure that we get everything out so that people will understand that this program is not lasting forever. So they need to get in and get their applications filled out, and do that.
And do that one for the state of Texas.
Okay.
Yes, and there's really no harm in signing up now because it's voluntary and it doesn't cost you anything. You can only lose. You cannot possibly lose more than what you lost now just by choosing to say, let's see what happens.
Yeah, and again, they're going to come out and inspect your homes with qualified people. I mean, it's not going to be Uncle Buck under the tree that's going to come out and inspect your home. It's going to be somebody that's qualified by the state of Texas because they want to make sure that that everything's going to be done decent and in order.
Exactly. Because I believe very thoroughly in the CYA program.
CYA. Y'all know what that is. Praise the Lord. Amen. I'm not going to say that right now. But hey, well, listen, is there any last words that you guys want to say before we sign off today?
Nope. Just remember, this is not, don't take your time in applying. Do it as quickly as possible. This is federal funding. It doesn't, just do it as soon as possible.
Okay, James?
Just thank you so much for allowing us into your community. Thank you very much for embracing us. We appreciate that. You all have been very kind. The food is delicious. I like to eat.
He got a hold of somebody good cooking. That's what he ain't gonna leave after that. Well, listen. Again, the process. Get the application. Again, there's 6 churches that you can pick up information from. There's the website right on your screen. Let me give you those churches again. There's Borden Chapel, 3495 Roland Road. There's New Day Deliverance Holiness Church, 1310 Van Buren Street. There's Cathedral of Praise, 592 Magazine Street, here in Beaumont, Texas. In Port Arthur, let me go ahead and put Faith Christian Center Church in Beaumont, 6490 Phelan Boulevard. Rock Island Baptist Church, 548 West 11th Street in Port Arthur. Christian Faith Baptist Church, 1919 Jefferson Drive. Or you can even go to their location, Liberty Heights Community Center, at 2349 Memorial Boulevard. There it is right there on the screen. Suite B, Port Arthur, Texas. And their phone number is 409-217-5004. Could you put the number up for me, please? There it is right there. There's the number right there on the screen, 409-217-5004. 217-5004. And get your application in. It doesn't hurt to put your application in. But listen, if you miss out, you only have a few days left to the end of this month, the end of September, because they got to start the process. And so every homeowner, if you had damage due to Hurricane Harvey, not something that happened 10 years ago, but due to Hurricane Harvey, you are a candidate for them to come out and inspect your home to be a part of this 2017. Let me get my name, get my information right here. Yeah, where you at? Where you at? Right here. I got it right here. I know I got it right here somewhere. Yes, Lord Jesus, where are you? The 2017 Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. It's available to all of those in the Jefferson County area, the Hardin County area, and the Orange County, the Tri-County area. It's available to you. Again, I want to thank Miss Sharleen JeanBaptiste, and I want to thank Mr. James McRae for coming to be a part of what's happening in our neighborhood. And I want to thank you for joining us today. And we will see you next time on our broadcast.